All right, let's get it started here. This is my leaving the neighborhood right now. Some construction, as you can see right there. I don't know what they're building there. I don't know if it's residential or what. There's like a little cafe, 68 coffee, 68 cafe or something like that, and that's Lemon Pickleball on the left. We're about to turn onto the main like river road. I actually don't even know what that road is called, but I just call it the river road. Lemon Pickleball, like I said, to the left. So I'm pretty much walking, coaching there every morning. Not every morning, 6 days a week. I teach three, sometimes four lessons a day. So from 10 a.m. to like 1 p.m., I'm there. And then if somebody really wants to get in for that fourth session, I will allow it. But for me right now, 6 days, three lessons a day, that's pretty good for me. I don't want to get burnt out, like I said before. And it's just it's nice overall. But like I said, those 4 hour days, they're not really hard. Time goes by pretty fast. But I give myself a break on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. I'm also not teaching on Christmas, right? But if somebody asks me, I will probably take it, right? Someone reaches out to me, hey, which happens. But yeah, man, just riding through the city. It'll give you a good idea what it's like to just kind of navigate through the city. I bought this like cheap GoPro knockoff because a real GoPro was like $400 or something crazy like that. Like living out here, when you think in those terms, it's just like devastating almost. You know what I mean? Like a GoPro is how much money? Like what the heck? Like more than a month's rent on a little camera? Like what the heck? So I bought like a knockoff GoPro. It's called SJ Cam, and it was like $100, 4K, right? So the footage obviously is not great, but I mount it. So I have a pretty expensive phone mount that I use to clamp my phone onto the motorbike, right? And that screws onto the mirror stem. There are no mirrors on my motorcycle, but there is still a place where you can screw on mirrors. So the thing just bolts on there and it holds my phone, but it also has one of those GoPro attachments. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll try to use that. So I just stick this cheap action camera on there, and it's not bad. I think it's watchable, and I turn on the stabilization because I have a single cylinder motorcycle, so it's very vibey, right? There's a lot of vibration, but it's not terrible, right? It's I feel confident enough to at least share this so you guys can actually see kind of what it's like moving through the city. But yeah, it's pretty grainy even in these, like this is like sufficient light, but it's pretty crappy footage. You know what I mean? Like you definitely get what you pay for. But as far as sharing it, I think you guys can get a good idea of what it's like to ride through the city, and it's just so much fun for me to just get out there. I'm like wearing sandals, shorts, and a tank top, and just a super minimalist helmet. It's like lighter than a bicycle helmet. That's what most people wear around here, just because it's illegal not to wear one, and so they're really cracking down on that, or they have in the past like 10 years, I guess. So everybody's wearing a helmet now. In Bangkok, not everybody really wears a helmet. But yeah, man, I remember like riding motorcycle in America, like had the gloves and the full face helmet and the boots and the jeans, and they're always like, but here you're just chilling. I'm just chilling in sandals. Most people here, it's wintertime, so they're wearing like jackets and stuff, and the women always cover up. But I'm just having such a blast, like just a huge smile on my face riding through the city, not riding that fast, right? Going through the Dragon Bridge right now, the famous Dragon Bridge. On Friday and Saturday night, it lights up and spits fire. The head of the dragon spits fire. And if you're ever driving through the city at that time, it's like such a huge traffic jam. Like there's like throngs and throngs of people, not only locals, but tourists, and there's like tour buses. In a second, we're going to turn onto the river promenade here, and you're just going to see all the buses. Like tour buses are a crazy thing, man. Like tour groups in general, it's just a crazy, crazy thing. Especially when you live in like a tourist city, which is like I lived in Bangkok before, like in the heart of downtown Bangkok, and now I'm in Da Nang, which is like a super affordable, super popular destination in Vietnam. Beach cities are always going to be kind of tourist hubs, but it's crazy that it's not even tourist season. It's rainy season, and there are just buses on buses on buses, and these buses will take you to all the main spots, right? So they'll take you to the main like tourist restaurants. These restaurants are designed to hold hundreds of people, and they have like all the stuff that you want to eat. They don't really specialize in one dish, but they offer you everything that kind of like the region or even Vietnam is kind of known for. And they're not bad. I went to one the other day with family that was visiting in town, and it was actually pretty good, but nothing is like excellent, right? It's all very good, but nothing is like excellent. Where typically, if you go to like a plastic stool, like a very famous spot in the city where the locals eat, it's just kind of one dish and it's excellent. It's just one excellent, super cheap dish. And obviously, the tourist restaurants are super, super expensive. I mean, I'm talking like 10x the price. No kidding, bro. Like, you might pay 300K for a bowl of pho when a bowl of pho is like 35K. But like I said, yeah, we're on the river right now. This is a very beautiful area to be. It's nice, the sidewalk is nice, the river promenade is nice, but there's just a lot of buses, there's congestion, and this is the middle of the day. Like on a Friday, Saturday night, you can just forget about it. There's just be like so many people around here. But it's still fun weaving through the traffic, on the motorbike, seeing people like riding two up. Riding two up just means riding two on the motorbike. It's such a cool thing, I think. To be young in a city like this, it's just, you can't beat it, like you got your buddy riding in the back, you're just riding on the motorbikes, just like sense of freedom. You can get anywhere you want, 10, 15 minutes. Gas is like super affordable. You don't even have to think twice about that. And you're just relaxing, what I mean? Everyone's wearing flip-flops. Literally, if you watch everybody riding around, they're just wearing flip-flops. Nobody really wears shoes in Vietnam. This is crazy. Only like the foreigners wear shoes. And then when it rains, people, you got to remember, like, this is their main mode of transportation. Unless you're rich or pretty well off, you might have a Suzuki car, you might have a Mazda. If you're like super balling, you have a business or something like that, then you have the Mercedes-Benz, right? But even if you're very well off, you have the Mazda. If you're kind of well off, you're probably the Kia, Suzuki, you know what I mean? Maybe a Honda if you're lucky, but most people are just riding motorbikes out here. And if it rains, they still have to go about their lives. These are working class women, working class men, young adults, college students, whatever. Can even be families. You know what I mean? Like straight up families riding the motorbikes. And when it rains, they all pull off to the side of the road. They open up their seat. They pull out the like áo mưa, and it's usually just a cheap poncho, plastic poncho, so it doesn't take up that much space. It's not heavy. You can compress it. And they just wear it, and they just got to keep on riding in the rain. So far, I haven't ridden in the rain. It's just like not part of the culture in America. Like when it rains, you don't hardly ever see a motorcyclist out in the rain. Like I'm not choosing to go out in the rain. And when it rains, they might pull over to the side of the road or something like that, or they might go to a cafe or a bar or something. But here, it's just a way of life. Life continues. So when you're ordering Grab or something on the delivery bikes, like they still come in the rainstorm, in the rain, like they still got to make money. In Thailand, it wasn't like that. In Thailand, when it was rainy, you don't get any Grab. The motorbike guys that deliver or the motorbike guys that take people around on the bikes, they just completely stop when it rains. You can't get anything when it rains. But here in Da Nang, like it's part of it. It rains for months at a time. So like they can't afford to stop that business. You know what I mean? So that's cool. But like I said, today was a pretty nice day. Just exiting the busy part, going down, about to enter the city. No traffic lights, about to get murked by this big truck. But yeah, I'm more comfortable now riding around the city. I'm less comfortable parking, if you can believe it or not, because you just park, like look on the side of the road here, you just park on the side of the road, you gotta like maneuver your bike in tight spaces and like turn it around, and then like when you get there, it might be like blocked in by other cars, riding on the sidewalk real quick. I'm not like super comfortable with that yet, because you're literally just fighting for a spot on the sidewalk with like hundreds of other bikes. So usually I'm just riding around. I'll usually park away from everybody else, you know what I mean? Just so it's easier for me. But yeah, I'm not quite a local in that sense yet. A local will just pull up on their motorbike right where everyone is. Somehow they're just like maneuvering the bike in there. You're not scared at all. But for me, I want my space a little bit. I want it easy. I don't want anybody like watching me. But yeah, like I said, the nice days are so few and far between. I'm just teaching pickleball. And teaching pickleball, going back home, eating, reading, chilling at home mostly. Haven't done any of the tourist stuff yet. Been to the beach like twice. So, when the weather starts to clear up, I guess I don't have any excuse but to go do the tourist thing, like I think we already passed it in this video, or we're about to pass it. Like one of the big markets. I don't even know what it's called. Johan, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's one of the big ones. I think we did pass it already. But in the city, it's like tons and tons and tons of tourists there. Just like that's one of the locations where they just get dropped off. Just huge, huge market where you can eat and shop, like local shop kind of stuff, not like shopping mall kind of stuff. But yeah, a couple places throughout the city are the big, big tourist hubs, like the popular beaches and the Muhengsan mountain kind of thing, like pagodas, certain pagodas and temples. There's one in Suncha, it's like a very popular Lady Buddha one. That one's a big tourist hotspot. There's two markets, and then there's the Antung area. That whole area is kind of like very touristy. The Dragon Bridge is very touristy. Along the river, all those shops. So those are like the main places where the tour like buses are. And I'm wondering if this. No, we might have already passed the big market in the city. But yeah, like I said, teaching 6 days a week, three classes a day. I got my regulars. It's like 95% girls. I think I have one guy that's a regular. And the girls are just more open to the coaching. There's not that ego involved. And I guess in general, men are just like, I don't need coaching. I'll just play. I just want to play, man. I'm not gonna pay someone to teach me. Even though I've noticed like most of the guys, they're a little bit more like, I would say, like stubborn or hard-headed. Like if you just kind of encourage them to do this a certain way, they're just, they're more inclined to do it their way. I can figure it out. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. But the women are very like, they want to learn, they want to know the right way of doing things, and they're less stubborn when it comes to moving out of bad habits. But I'm very fortunate to have like a good base of students learning. I'm really trying to help them out. And in all honesty, it really does help them out quite a bit. They've been playing for a couple months. They're already addicted. They already have, I don't even want to say a foundation, but they can already hit the ball. And when you hit the ball, speed it up with them, a lot of times they can hit it back at you, right? So you can keep it going. And then you're just fine-tuning elements. You're introducing like top spin. You're teaching them how to reset the ball, how to have a little bit more touch, some basic strategy, like, what not to do. It's a lot at the beginner level about shot selection, even an intermediate level. Like even the guys I play with, it's just like they just don't make the right shot at the right time. And that is so, so crucial. You're just choosing like a dumb shot when you're off balance and you're just like chasing down balls and you're still like, for some reason, like trying to do 100% like topspin drive or something like what? What is going on there, right? So just easy things. That's what I call like low-hanging fruit. Like you shouldn't be doing that. And if you stop doing things like that, you will win more games. You will extend more points. But anyways, this is not a pickleball instructional video. But yeah, I'm finding more people to play with at my level. I think on a good day, I'm like advanced. I'm like breaking out of intermediate. I'm like an advanced player now. You know what I mean? So I'm still trying to find like a good group of consistency and like not trying to wait too long in between matches, because you want to play with good people who can have long rallies. They aren't playing with ego. They can like really move the ball around and you just have good solid games. You don't want to be waiting. You can wait one game. That's like acceptable. But waiting 2 games, 3 games, like 15, 20 minutes between games, and then the games like aren't that high quality. You know what I mean? I'm at the stage where I'm like, no, I'd rather just do something else at that point. You know what I mean? It's just not worth my time. So that can be challenging, I guess, because there's a lot of people in intermediate and a lot of people in like, going to advanced intermediate. But after that, right, like where I am now, I feel like this like small section, it's like not that many people here. Because beyond this, you start getting like really into like whatever, like 5.0, 5.5, like that's pretty decent, right? Not a lot of people play at that level. So just getting there. It can be, just finding a good group, just having fun sometimes is also fine. Just finding locals to play with, having fun where, you just don't care. Like it's a shitty game. You're still laughing, people, the quality is high enough where you're not going to complain about it too much. You know what I mean? So yeah, still trying to find that. There's a new group that I've been eyeing out, and it's kind of like for advanced, just for my level. But they like, I would have to like cut my teaching short on Mondays or Wednesdays whenever they meet during the day. But I'm sure that it's my level. It's like they want only like 4.0 plus players. So we'll check that out. We'll check that out. We're coming to the beach now. Just crossed the Dragon Bridge, coming up to the beach. And, you know, the footage is all right. I'm probably going to aim the camera a little differently next time. Maybe even outwardly aim so you guys can see like more on like bias towards one side of the FOV here. But yeah, just driving through, you see a lot of VinFast, a lot of taxis. Pretty much anything white is a taxi. A lot of Hyundais, bro. A lot of Korean influence in Da Nang. So many massage parlors owned by Koreans. A lot of businesses, a lot of Korean barbecues. A lot of the tourists are Korean, especially right now. Just like tons and tons and tons of Korean tourists. I cannot even, like, wherever you are in America where you think there's a lot of Korean people, no. Come to Da Nang and you will see what it's like to have a lot of Korean people. But yeah, this is, I don't even know how to say it. The beach street. They're all named after like people. And I'm like learning Vietnamese and I know how to read everything, but it takes me like, if I'm looking at something, it takes me a long time to like read the word, you know, like Jack Smith. I'm like Jack Smith. But in Vietnamese, I'm like, okay, the tones and everything, I have to really take a little bit of time. Nguyen Gap Zap or something like that. That's the main beach street is called. This is the street that we're on right now. And that's not it, but it's something like that. Vo Nguyen Zap, something like that, I think, okay? But without any of the tones. So yeah, teaching Vietnamese, definitely getting better. Learning, talking to people in Vietnamese a little more now. And yeah, I'm probably gonna go for a walk while it's nice actually. And we're just pretty much home right now. Pretty much turning into our home street, very residential neighborhood. I'm super stoked about the neighborhood, to be honest. Signed a 6-month lease, and I'll be out here, you know? I'll be out here for 6 months trying to get some paperwork and bureaucratic stuff done so I'm like a fully functioning member of the Vietnamese society. But right now I'm just working under the table, cash only, you know? I got some Russian girls, students. I got an American girl from Tennessee. I got 2 Vietnamese girls. I had this like gay Vietnamese dude, but I think he like stopped taking lessons with me. He used to come every Sunday, but last Sunday he came and he just wasn't getting it. And I'm just feel so bad because his English is not great and I can't like really reach him in Vietnamese. And we're just trying like serving, topspin serving, and he's just not getting it. I mean, we're hitting basket after basket after basket. I'm trying not to overwhelm him, you know, just one thing at a time. And he just wasn't getting it. I think he's like embarrassed or something, so he hasn't come back. But yeah, dude, we're home now. Just gonna punch in my code, open the door, and slide in my motorbike into the garage, and then that's it, guys. That's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Not too much to update, but I hope you kind of enjoyed the scenery riding around the city of Da Nang, seeing what that's like firsthand on the motorbike. All right. Anyways, I'll catch you next time with some more footage. Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace, health, and unlimited joy to you. Bye bye.